for each other, and having a partner who is a few years older or younger than you is considered normal. But when the age gap is too wide, then that's when it may look unconventional.
Yeah.
So like when you have 15, 20 years, like that's a huge gap.
too wide.
Yes. But you know, between five.
Wait, please, Brigitta, pause. Like you're asking, is that too wide?
15
It's
years and
wide.
too wide.
What's your stance
too
on that?
wide?
That's normal for you?
Yeah, I can even go like 20 years.
Oh wow.
Okay, so
That's
on a
okay.
stay tuned.
Yeah.
I need you guys to stay tuned. This conversation is going to get interesting.
Indeed. For most couples, they prefer an age gap of between 3 to
sure.
5 years.
Oh.
With the male partner being older, of course. And then there's some rare cases or special cases where the difference is between 15 and 20 years, what you've explained.
Right.
And for most parts, the female is older. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah.
Okay.
So between 3 to 5 years or to 10 years, it's usually the male is older. But between 15 to 20, usually
It's
it's
the
the other way around. It's the
Wow.
female predominantly.
This
According
21st
to
century?
according to research.
Oh, okay.
But you know, so we get our own context.
Yeah,
Yeah.
context. I
So
think
we'll
in the
therefore
Sierra
discuss
Leonean
that.
context, it's not applicable. Even though I think I've like in all my years, I think I've only met one instance. So that's for us here probably might be so rare for that
Yeah,
age
very
gap for
rare.
a woman and a man. But you know, not overseas. I don't know. In other countries, man, I say overseas. In other countries, probably that's a norm there, or it's normal. So probably that's where the research was based.
Yeah, it's research. So we get a comment from Mac D Pride of Lunga. He said, "Good morning, beautiful ladies. Like always, I'm in love with your various topic." So the topic for today now: does age matter in a relationship? We want to you call, we text, we WhatsApp, we whatever. We want you communicate to we. And when I manage me Creole, you see this Creole why they pan talk so, and the translator inside my mind before I even they talk, and he adds me brain the adds.
But you do very well.
Nobody have a like. The thing is, when you speak multiple languages every day, when you wake up, probably you talking in different one. I don't know if I mean one they experience some though. So I'm just putting this out there.
Well, you're
like
multilingual.
the whole of yesterday, my thought were in Cranko. So translating that thought into Creole, then to English, and then to Creole, like was really, really, really difficult for me.
So I think for me, easy because I just create English medium.
I'm telling you.
It's for me, you know, that I speak 4. So yeah, I do speak 4. So it's very difficult for me to go through all this process. So you know me, my thoughts are in Cranko or my
Just
thoughts
flow.
are in Madingo. I was just then ask, I begin to tell you say, think about that I realized, okay, they don't understand. Let me translate this to English. Let me translate this to Creole. But this moment I get home, then I get comfortable. I'm like, oh yes, I did between me king. So I just continue the Cranko. But
good.
then I then I also my thoughts are in English. I
You
send the
speak
false
English the
slide.
entire day.
I tell me like they say, you know, like I'm like, when beer me, I be gonna beer me, but
Then
it's
the English
not the
mood now
English.
come up.
Indeed. If you're just joining us, this is the Breakfast Mix on Radio Fry 97.1 FM. Today in topic, now that does age matter in a relationship? We'll go on a break. We'll come back. We'll come back. So now for sit tight, to not change the dial. We'll come back. We'll get to talk about the factors with the influence age gap. And, you also have the other part of it that you also have to think about. Sorry, I just scroll down. Ways to make an age gap relationship work. So you get factors then we get to think about, and then you get ways them where you can help that age gap in the relationship work. If you another listener we've been called with 2 days ago, today's topic now for you especially.
Specifically.
Yes,
With a cater for you.
yes, because now you send a message to we,
Right.
and we be don't tell you, so we already be don't plan the topic, and that's something we'll get for discuss. And some of now we're not comfortable discussing this topic out in public. Now make Friday, yeah. Nobody needs to see you face, so I just voice with a yeri.
Yeah.
If you don't want to yeri you voice, send me longer text message with the read them. For let somebody else learn from your story. We'll come back and continue for read on our messages them on Facebook, and then of course we'll begin for entertain on our calls them on Radio Fry. So stay tuned.
You know what listeners like about our station? It's everything. Radio Fry Fry.
Election number one. Today I cry, tomorrow I go laugh. Because what I went for me, know they run past me. One day at a time. Said the one day when they hate me, they go bow to me. Just like a one pocket piece. Said them I try very hard for dispose of me. They no go get peace. Now you make her tell them say I no go cry, oh girl. I go stand up and fight for this me life. I no go cry, oh. I believe say one day me change go come. I no go cry, oh. I go stand up and fight for this me life. I no go cry, oh. One day me change go come. Just like a fool, no get see. Say they no plan and now them go to me say they go tell and feel me. When me your blessing and the blessing gonna come to me. All I just so they go tire. Then them Arano and Omojuba. They look me back at me then they do back. If you know I can't, you know go see. Say my history can be wiped away, but my destiny is something that they can see. I take it for me yesterday, but my tomorrow is gonna be a better day. No to worry, pocket peace. I no go turn country inside my own country. It no go be a juju kuru. Oh, I no go cry, oh, girl. I go stand up and fight for this me life. I no go cry, oh. I believe say one day me time go come. I no go cry, oh. I go stand up and fight for this me life. I no go cry, oh. One day me time go come.
If you must chop, they must talk. Everybody know the junction to your bus stop. They got to take, so I got toothpaste. They feeling my vibes, just like a toothpaste. Get music, get yourself music. Try for go friend and make us a life. It's not easy bad. I see them making crazy like we see. But me that doctor, I am the grace man, the ready man.
I am like the sun. You can never kill me my light. Oh, you are like the moon. Cause you depend on my light. See my history can be wiped away, but my destiny is something that they can see. They go take it from me yesterday, but my tomorrow is gonna be a better day.
Alaja, say they go tire.
Then go Alanu and Amajuba.
They look me bend and me they want to back.
One day with them go come.
Election number one.
Election on top of them all, Lord.
No go ever run down.
I no go cry. You stand up and fight for this mirror. I no go cry. And now one day me time must come. I no go cry. But I gotta so stand up and fight for this mirror. I no go cry. Yeah, one day me time must come. Ole ole ole.
Real bats. Real sweet.
Lord of mercy. Sissy. Oh yeah. Right. Do now. Hey. Do now. Morrissey. You know do now. For the Congo Army. All the time you they talk about me. You know do now. For the smile on me face. Pay me back, you talk to me them. You know do now. Bad at the industry. Too much drug and too much jealousy. You know do now. And the people and the suffer. The ranker one then they eat all the coffer. Do now, yeah, we do now, yeah, we do now. For the let go, we do now, we do now, yeah, we do now. For the talk about we not do now. For the oily other man, lets me close and he take on to the more man. Sleep with me and he sleep with me brother man. For money and fame you they kill the other man. Not do now. With a long speech. For this one side to the other man they snitch. Too much bully and backbiting. Libel too much now the industry. You know do now. With it too much beef. Work no day, so thief. I do not smoke we and too much chill. I fed up with the bribery and injustice. You know do now. Over so many people you want kill. The corrupt one they don't care how they feel. With corruption money then just the bill. You know do now. Una better them just the big. You know do now. For the Congo Army. All the time you dey talk about me, you know do now. For the smile on me face, pay me back, you the top down me name, you know do now. Bad out in the industry, too much drug and too much jealousy, you know do now. And the people and the suffer, the ranker one then they eat all the coffer. Do now, yeah, do now, yeah, do now. Body let go, do now, do now, do now. Body talk about so.
I see clean the facts, get red, the fed green, creeps the fed blood. For no reason, man, they lost job. BME, you the talk hard. For fame, they shed blood. You know, even Fred God. Cock, you know, do now. For the catch from the fame. What MC when no cock pan the game. You know, do now. Ricky Shida, Barudi, Labodi, Jamfadi, Kergodi, Ginkam. You know, do now. For the thief with confidence. Unnecessary arguments. The street full of violence. Attire with the idleness. Ebo, attire self-managers, the rape woman, them pity factor. Justice department, look to this matter. Let man, they left for sing wax song. Let the game go, for let you post boy. Pass it, me name go. You know, do now.
For the Congo Sami, all the time you dey talk about me, you know do now. For the smile on me face, pay me back, you the top down me name, you know do now. Bad out in the industry, too much drug and too much jealousy, you know do now. And the people and the suffer, the ranker one then they eat all the coffer. Do now, yeah, do now, yeah, do now. For the let go, do now, do now, yeah, do now. For the talk about you know do now. For the promote for the music, say solo artists they know sabi sing, you know do now. But me could perform for free, promote than just the shinkawi, you know do now. But say education not free, but all the time with the pay school fees, you know do now. But say not free medication, but the medicine they expensive, you know do now. All time they is me money, they call me honey, they cheat on me, you know do now. For the pirates me CD, then the success I know artists on the grow, you know do now. For they criticize me, then they want for enter free now me show, you know do now, yeah, you do now, yeah, you do now, hey boy, you know do now. For the Congo Sami, all the time you dey talk about me, you know do now. For the smile on me face, pay me back, you the top down me name, you know do now. Bad out in the industry, too much drug and too much jealousy, you know do now. And the people and the suffer, the ranker one then they eat all the coffer. Do now, yeah, do now, yeah, do now. For the let go, do now, do now, yeah, do now. For the talk about you know do now. You know do now.
Maurice and Queen Sissy.
You know do now.
This year they fight some tape as the fans and say.
You know what listeners like about our station? It's everything! Radio Fry Fry.
Yes, indeed. What listeners love about our station is every single thing. Radio Fry Fry on 97.1. The Breakfast Mix with me, Kamara, Sarah Kamara.
And Brigitte Dalton to say.
Yeah, so we go for we break. We get What's the song name, first of all? Let me go through the songs because I actually like salon music. Like I gravitate towards small. And the Breakfast Mix don't make I just fall in love with them. And if you're an artist, where they are now make we play a song on 12 major shows, the Breakfast Mix and the Drive. All you need to put in up a contact tweet on www.fryfry.live, you know. Then we talk, so okay, we play you songs safe as well. But we go for a break. The first song we'll play now, God Is Enough by Jimmy B. And then we get I No Go Cry by LXG. And finally, we get Ino Do Now by Maurice featuring Starzy. This was a major hit back then. And of course, today again, we're in the studio with another interesting topic, which is I don't define on for we don't make me and you two don't understand within, you know, the age difference in a relationship. It really matter. And you said can be part of the conversation by joining us on 088-971-971. We're live right now on Facebook. Well, Facebook first in just buzzing.
It's Alex say this is not something personal to people, because
very
we
personal.
see the engagement, the views and everything
Right.
on the back end, because we get access to that. We they see say this topic very, very relevant.
Right.
Because although I not begin call yet and I not begin send messages, we just read the So let's think about salon. Waiting are the acceptable preferences when it comes to age gap.
Right.
And I go say for we own culture, I don't think it's frowned upon.
Yeah.
Yes, usually the man for be older than the woman, because he's supposed to have that fatherly figure within the relationship that the woman should look forward to. So I don't think it's something that is frowned upon. So that's one thing that can affect your choice in choosing a partner that's older than you.
Right.
The second thing is family background. So if a person belongs to a family where their parents or close relatives have a huge gap in the relationship, or the woman is older than the man, they could be more willing to explore such relationships than a person from a conservative family. But this is not the case in all cases. This is not the truth in all cases. So then they say, if you come on a family where there's already an age gap between the parents,
Right.
you're more likely to accept the differences,
Right.
than somebody where they come from a conservative family where like all man they around the same age.
Right.
So maybe you may tend to prefer to stick in that line to say, okay, me too, why they date somebody it get for be around the same age, because now waiting they don't teach you, now waiting you don't see
Yeah.
now us. But again, you not for generalize, because that saying there or that concept they is not true in all cases, because
Right.
you can still come off from a family that has a huge age gap, but you prefer to still be with somebody
Only that
within
within your age group.
Yeah.
Wait, so
like my father and my mother, there's a huge age gap, huge.
And
So
it
when you-
worked.
It worked to some degree, but the family interfered, and
Interfered.
it destroyed the relationship.
But again, going back to the culture, where you go back and think about within the salon context, you take go down the villages and all. FGM mostly you just say then always where then don't take the picking them, they don't already go through the process. immediately they're all set for marriage, right?
Right.
So not to anything we new, you know, just that I think the way how people they look at them now quite different, because it's not something we don't they exist for like forever.
Yeah.
Right.
You know, picking they did in 12, 13 years, something around 40 something year old line they identify and say,
Yeah,
this
but
one,
you
na
say,
me where?
you say 14, 15. Sometimes the picking can the belly.
Exactly. Don't begin point say yes, na me own no. Yes,
and
exactly.
when them born as in the menam and go through the process of, you know, the bondo, and after that they then just hand over to another person. They could be around 50 years.
So the only difference now, this century and all, just that we don't sort of modify them, you know, because now we all look good and we make the choices
Right.
by
I think
ourselves.
that's the
you know, that's the difference.
The
But I
choice.
think we don't they happen for like forever since
Yeah.
creation,
Right.
not a new thing.
Right.
You they see this person, it go there around 16, 17, then around 60 something year old, 9 man,
Right.
and they don't born past 6, 7 picking. Society never frowned at it.
Yeah.
Right.
It was okay. It was normalized.
Right.
You know, so now if me choose for make me own decision, like a very conscious and deliberate one, I don't feel say, you know, it all depends on the individual preference.
Thank you. I think
What do you want?
for me, why I feel say society is still frowned upon that age gap when they be say like, okay, 15, 16-year-old, they date 30, 40 or
Yeah.
50 years old, is that when it comes to like, we don't realize, say, at that age, 15, 16, you are basically still a child.
Yeah.
And some of the decisions you are making are not really your own, but you're being influenced, probably being influenced by that person. Maybe say, don't live life, you don't experience them, you don't get, so they feel like they have more knowledge and then get the power for influence your thought process. You understand? So for me, I think it's acceptable when the person is 18, 19, because then I can actually see them as an individual. They have like a decade plus experience added to
But
whatever
again,
that
who
they're
is
going.
a child?
Who is a child? That's
Depends on the
I think we
person's
defined
maturity.
it.
Like
It was
who's a
in
child?
January.
Yeah.
Because
Remember?
for me, I think say sometimes, of course, I'm into this human right thing, women's and all. We're not here for that.
No.
But sometimes I just feel say we can take just the general international
Yeah.
definition,
Right.
and not try for contextualize them
Right.
into we country. Who is a child in Sierra Leone?
Well, I think when we did that workshop with World Hope International, when they were
Yeah.
trying to teach us the context of a child in like we own setting, so we think say just like how you say, as you go through the Bondo society, you don't consider you already a woman. For man, where your voice don't begin deep,
Yeah.
you don't get waiting
Beers and
beard and
all.
this, they already consider the this. But in certain contexts as well, you can be 28, 30,
You're
and it's
still a
still there, like my mama and papa host, and they still see you as
As
a
a
kid.
child.
Yeah.
So it's a cultural context, like we say, it's not really defined by age. It's defined by certain factors as to different cultural practices. So it can be 17, 16, and you marry.
And you know what you want
Good.
as well.
Yeah, you can be 15, 16, you marry. They automatically don't see you as a child. They don't see you as an adult that can meaningfully contribute even in families meeting. Sometimes your opinion can even more valid than the person where not married, because and say as person married automatically have this amount of I don't know how the knowledge can
I
come,
know.
but it don't come upon you
Yeah,
automatically
that's how
and
people
stuff.
say.
So a child in real context it vary.
I think we need for redefine them again.
Yes,
we
that we
really
need to
need
do.
for redefine them
That
and
we
not
need to-
take
Yeah.
all the. I'm not against it.
Right.
You understand? I'm fully into. I can't say fully, not 100%, because there are certain things that when myself can question,
Right.
like because people don't come together and say this is wrong. Is it really wrong?
Right.
You know,
Right.
so we just
Because-
need to do a little bit of shit. We're not here on women's age.
No, women. I'm not talking about women. Talking about maturity, right? Like how does it know? Maturity is not defined by age.
Age.
Yeah.
So being a child as well
Your
should
mental
not. It is a
status.
mental status because there are some people that are actually 15, 16 that
Are
can
way
make
more
better
mature.
life
Yeah.
choices
Yeah,
than somebody
agree.
that is 30 years already.
Yeah.
So maturity is really not defined
That's
by
true.
race. So I totally agree with you when
Yeah.
you say we need to redefine in our own cultural, in our own context,
Yeah.
what being a child really is.
and what works for our society.
Thank you.
Yes.
Back to you.
Back to you.
hot discussion. Of course, we don't describe some of the factors that would influence the age gap inside a relationship. Number one, we don't see the cultural aspects where Amira and Camera just described. Your family background as well
Right.
can have an effect on that, and then family planning. For some people, then they want delay
Them-
for born picking.
Right.
So and for born picking after marriage and start a family, only for some years after. So some man can want marry somebody younger because like that young person they not go get the zeal for say we're born picking now because of age, the time and everything else.
Right.
So that's some of the reasons why some people might marry somebody who's younger than them. Some of the merits would they give in an age gap in a relationship. Number one, maturity. So the older one in the relationship can help make mature decisions, and emotionally, financially, and they also bring in the maturity in terms of discord in the relationship,
Right.
due to their past experiences. So some man can lack that,
Right.
then they find that attractive in the person. So then they say maturity can be a reason why somebody can want date person way old person, because that person they able make major decisions, they able make mature decisions, whether it's emotional or financial, and like if problem they're able fend the fixes within that relationship because they don't experience life
Right.
for
I
a
think
while.
Then they applicable more to us women because even though I hate to ascribe to that school of thought, but I just have to go ahead and say this: women mature quicker
Yeah, that's
than
true.
men. We do. So when you're dating within your age bracket,
It's a struggle.
it's exhausting because sometimes when you're thinking about things, they're not on the same level thinking about it with you. So some women now take comfort in dating older men where they within the age bracket. I don't know if this is an article I read a long time ago. I can't really remember, but I think it was about matching sexual compatibility. You know, for a younger woman that is in her early 20s, her sexual compatibility can be matched to a man in his 40s, 50s. And for older woman that is in her 40s, 50s, 30s, her sexual compatibility can be matched with a younger guy that is in his 20s, in his early 20s. I think it was around that, but I don't really remember like clearly because it was a really long time ago. I think so. If it's in that context, then I get where the conversation is going. Yeah, because we tend to look for that because why they talk like you understand when it comes to conflict result or like sometimes
Resolution,
resolution, because when you're dating like an older guy, like when you're talking, they understand exactly where you're coming from because they get years of experience backing that understanding. But with the person on you say like you're looking at you and the only thing you're thinking about.
But hey, I tell you this, you know, sometimes again, there's still that boy that lives in an older man.
Yeah, there is.
Yeah.
I love that
This is
part.
experience. This is experience talking.
He's still that boy.
Right.
Like, seriously.
Really?
Sometimes it could so shock you for no reason. Like, seriously.
So basically, we cannot win.
We cannot win, indeed.
Cannot win.
And you know, sometimes the interesting views. So a couple with an age gap can have different views and outlook towards life, and it brings him some freshness into the relationship and helps each other understand and accept the other ideas. So because there's an age gap between the two, each person get your interesting view on life, and sometimes that combination can be healthy and can be good and can make the relationship work. Because if I look at something from my own perspective, if Namina the younger one, sometimes the older person not even get on this self in mind, but then the older person but get in your experiences the way it gets, it will give you 1 or 2 cents where you have to say, okay. So interesting views can be another reason why some people can date somebody way much older than them. And then you also have financial stability,
Right.
where now some of the major reasons why some people, especially in the context of Sierra Leone, may enter into a relationship where there's a huge age gap. So an older partner is likely to be settled better as they start it in early life. This provides an added advantage of a stable financial position for the couple.
Right.
So some woman them can one date a man way older because of the stability where they know see them get for receive. However, what we don't realize is that sometimes this financial stability can turn into control inside a relationship. So if you don't get control, like Camera Bida explained with the guest yesterday about respect and submission. If we all to the earn pretty much the same, and the woman tell the man say I want to go Dubai, and the man say no, I don't think so. If you go Dubai, get reasons them. Then because of out of respect for the man, the woman go adhere and say yes, now my man talk. However, if the woman no get better financial stability, something a stay-at-home mom, and then you can't tell a man say I want to go Dubai, and the man say no. It a respect, not to respect. It they say okay
Because they not get choice.
exactly choice not did it.
Yeah.
Yes. So we be explain say respect and submission is out of choice.
Yeah.
That I should have, both of us should have control, not to one person no more forget control. And usually in financial stability, one person must get control. Even with if you flip it around, you
Right.
get some woman them,
Right.
we can one date young man because then they get control over them.
Right.
Where I tell you say we dey go out, we go out.
We go out.
Where I tell you say this, we dey do this. And some man like, if now the first thing you dey enter that kind of relationship, they of course you dey be a bit confused.
yeah.
the dynamics of the relationship. But even with when you flip it around again, the other way around between male and female, where the male is older, it's the same. Some people then can describe them partner as controlling. If the man buy one bag rice, it tell you say
4 months.
yeah.
Yeah.
Now 4 cup no more if you cook. I don't want yes. Then I control, not to stability
Yeah.
anymore. And if you don't inside that
you
kind
don't take you don't take out respect from
Yeah.
it. You don't take out submission from it. You don't take out obedience or
Yeah.
whatever is it that you don't take all of it out, because that person they don't think, and also because they actually get any of them thing, and because they don't have a choice.
Yeah.
Because if you tell me say okay, this now is bag now 4 copy for cook for day.
yeah.
And me, I can afford to cook 5 or 6 cup, and I listen to you with 4 cup. What you say, then that's respect. Because I'm doing it because I'm respecting your choice and seeing come up on me. But that way, say no cook 4 cup. I know they cook the 4 cup. Now because I know say if I'm not cook, I'm not there for it too much, because
Yeah.
you know give me waiting I want for
Exactly.
you. And most times this relationship be based on like it's control.
Yeah.
Let's say a 50 years old man dating 20 or 19-year-old girl. Basically, they provide anything, and most
Yeah.
times this tend to be abusive quick.
Yeah.
Because as you can see, give me the phone I buy for you.
Yes.
Give me the motorcar come on, me oh,
And
go
that's
to
what
the
they
people
happen
them.
every day in a daily reality.
Good.
You
Yeah.
know? Yeah.
And even the woman safe, because I like I said,
And again,
I have an experience with that one. Not me personally, but I know somebody. If the guy was actually 24 and the woman was actually 38 or in her late 30s as well, but she was very stable and was the financial provider in the
So
relationship.
that dominance.
Yeah, so
exactly.
basically, if you just sit on hello. Yeah, you don't go make so. Sometimes I wonder, are you talking to
So
your
you-
partner or
yeah.
are you talking to your houseboy?
Exactly.
Maybe.
But you see, I'm like, if you see the guy come, the guy is like really, really cute. But the way he acts around the woman like a child. And for me, I feel like I even though they're both adults, but I think that's a pedophile kind of relationship, because you enjoy the fact that you would see the person like picking.
Yeah. Yeah.
And that person knows you picking, now your
Yeah.
partner. So I can only imagine what happens in the bedroom, how they go through that.
That's a whole different
That's a
thing.
whole different situation. But that's the dynamic of most of those
And you know, quite
relationships.
recently I learned something, you know, where we mentioned submission. Again, it all depends on the context.
Right.
You know, quite recently I come for land say the submission where we they think of now Africa quite different from the submission in other parts of the world,
Yeah.
right?
Really?
Yeah, in a relationship.
Okay.
When I learned this, I was so shocked. We in Africa, when you talk about submission, you think about say, okay, if I tell you say no do this, you know go do
yeah.
you get for cook for me, you know, you get for ensure say you clean and things like that,
Right.
you know. And then I come to realize that in other parts of the world, if you talk about submission in a relationship, that means in the bedroom, probably like get me tied. And you understand this
I
kind
understand,
of thing,
I
like
understand.
this kind of cage. I was like, oh my god, I can't inflict pain on anyone. Like, no, I can't watch this happen.
Okay.
So it's quite different. So when I learned this recently, I was like, oh, seriously? So then I don't want to say they use that in the wrong context, because now this we know
Yeah.
as you know
Submission.
exactly. And other parts of the world where you talk say, oh, me not this kind of submissive person. It's a whole different thing.
It's a whole
different
so
thing.
this is a cultural
Submission.
this is this is speaking up from a different cultural point of view of what
Yeah.
submission actually
Yeah.
is.
And I think that's just how words are.
Right.
You know, waiting then they use now other side it different from how we they practicalize
Right.
them.
Yeah.
So that's why sometimes even within all those international instruments, if they say you have to follow this, you have to do it, come back and see whether that's how your people are living.
Thank you.
Whether it's gonna work for your people.
Thank you.
So yeah. We all learn every day.
We learn.
Indeed.
I think I just learned
But
something
of
new.
course, the
Yeah.
submission that's from the beginning, the context of submission that
From the
was
Bible.
mentioned from the Bible is that of respect.
Yeah.
And God said it both to male and female. He did not say just female.
Right.
And people take that out of context. When they talk about submission, they think it's only related to a female. But when God spoke about submission, it's to each other, just like you would with God. That's how he explained it. So let us not take things out of context, and because we gain from positively,
Right.
like you say, for put somebody down in terms of age difference within a relationship. And like Amira, they say, the context of words sometimes changes depending on the set of people, the
Right.
culture, and the tradition. Within Africa, she's correct.
Right.
People then can say, where the woman they do invoke na oath,
Oh,
they
yeah.
maintain the
Submissive
oath,
woman.
a very submissive woman. But what about if you ask them for like giving your opinion about something?
Right.
Will that submission still be there?
Right.
I don't know if the submission
I
will
think
still
that
be there.
that's a realization we can dawn on most men. Like, for example, the dynamics of the relationship or partner. Let's take gender out of it. Let me say I'm the financial provider in my relationship, right? I get that dominance. Like whenever I tell him to do this, he did do 'em. You know, I don't get dandy. What happens? Like, okay, 5-6 years in the relationship, probably you lose your source of income, and that person can be the breadwinner.
Yeah.
The scripts they flip.
Yeah.
I say if you
Exactly.
see in a man, if the man I was doing, the woman they come, this woman not expect me again because not knowing that now mimic it, they mimic you.
Yeah.
Because if you like say where you are the financial provider, this
You
is at
forget
least
dominance.
what you
And
need
the
to do
human
in
body
the
get used to the daily happenings.
Yeah.
If like
Right.
that way they don't treat me, and then they feel say right.
Right.
Exactly.
So I
So-
do reciprocate.
Thank you.
Yeah.
So if you back don't come in a position where I'm dependent or you're dependent on me, I'm going to do exactly what you were doing to me when I was
Exactly.
dependent on you. So
That's
it's not
it.
a change of script. It's just that the roles flip and I'm acting now like you. So even if a woman sometimes the provider in a relationship and the man self can get the financial upper hand, then the dynamics they change and it will teach you exactly how they teach them. But at the end of the day, when we talk about age, it all boils down to respect in a relationship, mutual respect for each other. But make any relationship work, because you cannot be disrespectful to your partner and think it's okay based on okay, would I get the upper hand?
Yeah.
For me, it don't make sense, man. Or like
At all. It's all about, individual preference.
Right.
What do say they work for you? What do you want?
Right.
For me, I believe say every person forgets a list of
Right.
what you they look for. You know, we just come on at random and say, oh, any man no more way come, I will take him. No, you need for specifically get what you they look for.
Yeah.
Say so you get some person go say, oh, I like tall man, I like my way belly big, I like my way. Nah, it goes beyond that. Brand they also important.
Yeah.
But then what about respect? What about integrity? What about
Intelligence.
love? That's it. Because you they look for somebody where they hold you down in conversation. I tell people, for me, I'm this. Is it called sapiosexual?
Yeah.
I am this kind of person. If you can't engage me for like 1 hour in sensible decisions or discussions, I'm out.
Right.
Unless if you get reservoir of money, I don't want. Because I know say I get a lot of crazy thoughts there every day where they so fat na me I need somebody for help me for stable arm.
Thank you.
You understand? So
Right.
it goes beyond just that.
Right.
Indeed, the topic hot na the studio. We want to continue for give una the pointers them so that we allow una for call we back on 088-971-971 for be part of the show. And the fourth thing where it can to age difference where people then can prefer na the health balance. So in the long run, the person way young can end up for be the supportive one to the older one, and can provide sometimes financial stability and emotional stability, like waiting camera to say it flip round, because now the older person they become dependent now on the younger person, and then usually the younger person they're able to keep the family together and especially the children together because they have the zeal to do it, whereas the older person not necessarily. And of course you get some drawbacks in age gap within the relationship. One, now that some things might turn sour as time passes by. So research don't find out say things then maybe they work before, as time they pass, sometimes the satisfaction they reduce, if that makes sense. Then the other partner, sometimes there are higher chances of divorce because of differences in thinking, differences in wants and needs and everything else. So satisfaction decreases, and so sometimes might lead to a divorce. And then sometimes it might cause marital instability.
Right.
So in a marriage of a broad age gap, there could be an issue of decreased value senses, potential caregiving, financial issues, power struggle, especially if the wife is older than the husband. And also you get social disapproval, so the couple might attract unnecessary attention, and the family may not be cooperative, and this might put undue pressure on the couple. For my own example, that's what's happened.
I understand that, because I was it recently last year, I think after my birthday is in November, and my dad's elder brother, I call him my dad. He come over, see, he come maybe tapping on McKinney. And then I went there, but when you look at him, he's very agile. He's like 69, 70, but he's very agile, younger looking and stuff. So, but for me and him, we have a really close relationship. And for some people, they not like see that relationship. They not come on as a see Papa and Pekin very close talking. So me and him, we decided to hang out. And when we decided to hang out, we go hang out, and we do crazy things together. Me and him, we read books, we do this. So that day we said, okay, let's go hang out. And then we went. And then literally, when we reached a public place, we're walking. Everybody was looking at us, and then they shake their head.
What's going on?
Everybody was looking at us, and they shake their head. So in their eyes, oh, look at this, look the kind man, look the man, way old person, like in that disapproving way. Till to a point, a guy walk up to me, I go buy the drink, and like, you man, I'm like, not to me man. Everybody like, yes, be open. I'm like, not to me man, I'm Papa. Are you Papa? You know the hug. And I'm like, why can't I hug my dad? What do you mean?
Society.
So then feels like where you would hold the hand, hug, automatically that's kind of so you're dating, and already they don't begin look at you now in that way. So I get that part where you say society,
the
pressure,
the pressure,
and also the priorities in life. So people of different ages have different priorities in life, and the priority of one partner might look frivolous to the other, and does bring in a psychological gap between the two. So because my own priority, I don't know, now for make sure say they look sweet every day, then the other person your own priority now for make sure say they save money for bill owes, so the compatibility they reduce, because now with priorities there a difference. Also having children, and couples then we get a large age gap may face some health issues, especially where they want to start a family, especially when then don't delay them for so long, and so the fertility rate can be affected. Also unsatisfactory romance. The intimate moments between the couple may not be may not be as satisfactory.
I'm going through it with her. So when I read this part,
like
it's funny.
But there are still younger people who can do anything.
Exactly. And they continue.
Don't mind me, please.
Then you get the socializing part, of course. So some couple with large age gap may or may not have a common social group. So like if me and a young person, I used to go clubbing, and I get an older person while they date, they into the clubbing scene. So that social aspect of socializing between the two of us
the battery
is not
power
compatible.
is not the same.
But there lies compromise, because even with you age mates, there's a possibility that within the interest, I'm not interested either way.
Just,
it's
just people.
For me, it just center on individual.
Right.
Whether you're younger or you're older, it's all about individual preference and what works for you.
Exactly.
Somebody go there in at 30 or 35 years, they don't even get interest in social life. Whilst you meet up 40 something year, he's so active.
I think there was this trend on it was a TikTok trend where older women that were dating younger men were doing this trend where say at 10 or 9 a.m. when like they wear clothes, don't sit down. The only thing she's thinking about is like turning on the TV with the cozy cup of coffee. And it's saying like the man they come, oh baby, no. So they say like the age gap when it comes to socialization, because a close friend of mine say we're passing there at the age like teenage years to early 20s, and there's you battery power there around 99.
So it keeps reducing.
So you might get down. So you're active more at that stage. But when you're 30s and going up, your battery power there around 70s. So like the energy you even get for socialization when you're in your early 20s and teenage years is not the same as when and when you reach up the 40s, the 50s,
but it can also interest you that even some people at 20s, 30s, they never had social life, but then when they turn 40,
it's when they now
have
experience. So again, I believe it's the individual, because if we try for categorize people according to age,
it
according
all
to
depend on the individual
and their own upbringing, their background, their family setup. There's so many different factors which affect an individual, and like we continue for say you need for assess the person where you want to enter a relationship with. We call line they buzz so they can't begin now for take on our calls them. Will they get a call from a caller?
I think This is not Francis from Kono. In Pombo. Good morning.
Hello. Good morning.
Yeah. Francis from Bo, right?
Yeah, Francis.
Oh, got it right.
I got it right. Good morning. With my contribution to the program.
I don't listen to the program. I think say it's very much educative. And one point of view is that way I can think about now that age not really matter in a relationship, because I think what matters in a relationship now the caring, the love, and the respect, despite of the age.
Right.
You might. Like how the judge discussed, there are some people they would like if you say old past woman or maybe the woman old past the man, they treat them like say a house boy,
Yeah.
And then I don't listen to that kind of thing. I don't witness such things like that. And then he really tell well, because everything about relationship is about respect, and then it's about sharing and giving and every other thing like that.
Right.
So the age not can really matter inside the. That's if you 100 years and possibly 50 years gap, it's just about respect no more and taking care of that person their needs and every other thing. And I don't listen to when I tips them and everything when they talk about. I just decide say for I'll call and make a comment. It don't take small time.
Okay. So Francis, you give example of 100 years. That's like way too old.
No, like honestly, there was this me uncle way then age number really reach up to 100, but he was like 75 going to 80.
Wow.
And then he loved one lady all in that area where I don't use so much. I can call her my sister. So it's about they will be there about in 30 to 35. Then you can stage them. So like a huge space of gap that one day.
It's
but
so
one thing
good.
that I really admire about their relationship. Now being that they really be very much submissive and they give the respect. And also the man be the reciprocate most as well. Not be the use and say because I all pass you, I need for be the big man, I need for be the big boss. But then now understand it day. And then when you understand it, they love me the flow. And when you understand it, they carry me the flow and every other thing like that. So like now be the one very big example where I be what I don't witness before this time and I see him say and everything that done you need for just get that understanding and just get that sharing and giving thing like that.
Right.
On for the in that level time and think about things and what will be helpful for building up.
Right.
But then the man not been the man be land on to the point for like marry them. But then unfortunately for the lady, the man go overseas and upon a return, he gets an accident on the way from Lunge to Bo. And the accident I be get for kill him. I know, not kill him on the point, but then I was hospital for some time. It shopping everything is send him the shipment, everything for the wedding. And then so for the world I'm this past 2021 December, but to know I feel so it not be happen. But that not be one of the point them way I really see that kind of age gap and then they might be happy and they be happy and people that be they talk about things like that and they say this is my happiness and then I find them say they respect me and let me for that be and maybe they respect them despite the age matter.
Right.
But then there are some people that can get the relationship can fall because of their kind of thing. There are some friends and they will like maybe this they mostly happen to women them. There are people them where they don't go show their boyfriend or the man or they deal with. But as you said, the age difference is very much big. There are some they discouraging their friends. I go love that kind of pardon. But like honestly, that discouragement like give to their friends them. Now for let the friends they say, okay, I don't want and then go slot in. They say that you go don't see you go don't bet by the man and they go don't wait for
That's a good one.
I know they take dandy. I know they take dandy. But sooner you don't say, okay, I don't want again. You go understand, say you go flipping and take up that Monday.
Yeah.
But then it really encouraging to sisters and out there they listen and to we all that age not really matter. It no matter. It depends on who that you be, your personality and where you show respect in that love day.
Right.
And I try for see what thing will be best for una and then could be more good for una or two for una see how una relationship will get on going.
Okay.
So for sure, then I just one thing where I try for add my voice and then I hope for listening to Unati Auntie and maybe some other things will come up.
Okay. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much for joining us on the show. I want to read some of the messages them on Facebook because they're on Boku now. Bilson B. Salison said, good morning, Radio Fry Fry. He also said, it's been a while. I wanted to ask this question. And he said, why some ladies love for age? And officially, Bilson B. said, Sister Camera, you the rappo. Then Ramadan Deco said, DJ Deco of Classic Radio Bow City, watching my beautiful queens live from Bow City. And Joseph Kemo say, me no go see somebody will like me and mature and no let come back. And Mariam Thoronka says, hey, Joseph Kemo says as well, it's obvious that true love knows no age limit. What matters is they both are comfortable with each other. And Bonton Wright says, age is very bad in relationship, as it's being used to control the other partner. But ladies, this is a big topic. And Abbas Kamaz says, why ladies are curious about age? I just believe respect to each other, that's the age. And Joseph Kemo again says, but this again, if a lady is older than the man, is it possible for that woman to subdue herself to her husband? So in question at that, if the woman big past the man, if it possible for that woman, they still submit to a husband.
Yeah.
And Mohammed Ibrahim Kamara say, watching from Kenema, the issue of age has disturbed a lot of relationships. Ego and domineering spirits will take center stage, and these will kill the relationship. In my view, I need a woman that I'm older than at least 9 years. And Mark Eisen Fomba says, I'm rest assured that age doesn't matter in a relationship. I'm dating someone at the age of 30 while I am age 27, but my morphology is greater than her. It's just the matter of understanding each other. For us, we respect each other, we care for each other, we usually listen to our pain points in an argument. One thing I observe her is that she admires Western world relationship and tries to implement it in ours, and I also do the same. But sometimes she like
She's like, say I big for you.
Then I also reply, yes, so, but say
motoka not the big for in driver.
The better way they have for translate. And Abs Cam says, honestly, if a lady is older than a man, it's a big deal because they're very controlling than a man. And I've lost my messages.
Okay, and yes, Samuel Kabwe say, loving the program. Douglas Emmanuel Sam continue for say, what matters in a relationship is love, respect, and mutual understanding between the partners. And Rose Tarawali say, hey ladies, this program is very interesting and educative. Many listeners' attitude will be changed. Well done.
Thank you so much for joining us on the show and tuning into Radio Fry Fry.
Okay, we get a message. Yeah, I think this will need you, the guest, for answer. And he say, good morning, Radio Fry Fry. I'm Zenita from Smaila Town. I'm really enjoying the show. Keep it up. I have an issue which I need to hear from other people's opinion. I am 28 years old and there's a man who wants to marry me, but he's 53 years old. People are already starting to say I am going to marry a man who is older than me and I am not going to enjoy my marriage.
Wow. So again, I go back to individual preference.
Right.
You know, you don't allow society or people to define what happiness is for you. You know, what works for me might not work for you. If you feel this person, what do you consider as being happy? Shoot, go for it. That's my advice.
Right.
If you feel when you deal with this person, you feel safe, because again, it's about safety.
Right.
You know, you want for in a space where it's okay to be vulnerable without being judged.
Yeah.
Right.
You know, if I feel for crying my eyes out for the rest of the day, there's someone to listen to me. There's someone to tell me that, hey, baby, it's going to be okay.
Right.
You know, so it's all about individual preference. It's not about what they think is being happy.
Right.
You know, if me feel saying that 60-year-old, you know, they give me happiness, come on. Who are you to question that?
Yeah. Right.
Now me get for the inside it, not to you get for go inside it.
Right.
And again, sometimes I can sort of ponder where people then can say, when you date this older person, you not get for enjoy you married because they're old before you. My granny ki always say, dry tick the tinap, or tick the tinap, where breeze the blow, you not take something that they go one day for them.
Right.
That they tell you say we no sign agreements for no when we they die.
Yeah.
You they see young people, then they die, and then the older one, then they left. So you can't tell me because I deal with this older person,
Right.
then it they die before me.
Right.
We don't know. We lifespan either way.
Yeah.
So yeah, If I feel like having babies with that older person, that's my choice. If it happens, say eventually the person not live long, I still gonna tell the story to my babies. Like, your dad was so good. He was so beautiful. He loved me. He cherished me. It's about me. It's not about what society thinks is best for me.
Right.
You know, that's not the problem. We make most people then they lose their purpose, and at the end of the day, they're not able to fulfill waiting they want.
Yeah.
Because we always want to live towards societal expectation.
Indeed.
So, yeah.
I will tell my own personal story. The 10 when them born me, my papa already been on 62. And my mama had been 28.
Wow.
So you see the huge age gap.
Yeah.
Until this day, my papa they turned 95 this year.
We need for
95.
See.
So each individual different, like you say. Me not a product of that relationship day. And I not go judge them. Although for me personally, I think they've been too big.
Right.
But when you look at the context of a relationship, like waiting Amira they say, now all that they make you they feel content, happy.
Yeah.
Right.
And they help you towards your progress. When they receive a call, they will answer this caller.
A boy. Good morning.
Hello?
Yeah, good morning.
Yeah, good morning. Yeah.
Yeah, a boy from Moritown. What's now your contribution to the program?
Moritown Junction.
Yeah.
Okay, my contribution is that now this in terms of relationship, age matter. Yeah. One, it is in maturity. One, if you man, you dey 50 years, you go keep teaching whether 18, 19 years. Whenever it is talk to like taking like 49 exam picking. In fact, people then will say, look at, you don't go buy ball for them, but go there. So you don't say,
Right.
whenever somebody matures, so certain situation can come, if they able to handle them. But like somebody when not mature, as something can no more, you not be able to handle the situation. Okay. And the other point is that when I can go somewhere else, so tell you who say you the same. They not the same detail. Who say you the same for talk, they not the always in the same say, you're not grandpa for her. Even the way they talk to certain serious stuff, they not they take you serious. So me I think then a new contribution that one day.
Oh, okay.
Okay, thank you for calling us and joining us. As always on Radio Fry, the reason why we're there and would allow everybody to talk and give your own opinion. We all no go fit inside the same rule. This man in belief say age matter because for some people the maturity level way they weigh them and balance them is not quite correct because in some contexts what they say can be true. But also you cannot judge because of that one context they say the other person where they decide for enter a relationship with that kind of age gap they go experience the same thing. So waiting where they try for teach you now that not judge person by how you did watch them. Look at all man in your context. When they receive another call. Look at all man in your context. So don't be quick for judge. All man get your own experience.
Good morning.
Yeah, good morning.
Good morning.
Your name is Mr. Koroma from Congo Town. Yeah.
So, I'm going to put out about age matter. The age matter, Lord just say, let not pass back. Because in the experience we get, the woman are married and people have for 10 years.
Okay.
Anyway, going now, before the man now, me and you almost equal. We try to take the name around.
Okay.
To the age, people they say, women not pass back.
Okay.
Because no advice. Now, some man go young, you go for certain things for confidential treatment. You go for like meet and proper one, you meet a deal with them. But for take care of the responsibility, very good.
Okay.
So, if the advice will say, let woman know what too much for the confidential treatment. They want to in life or they go get proper one.
Okay.
At the end of the day, yes, you move with somebody, all that prime possibility, to no match pass mark. But no pass mark to what, let it just pass mark.
Okay.
I see one television I watch in this year. I come across one married. You know, say yes, this person is married to this young girl here. Now, I just told them money go for. You still have money go for. Where two couple the kids say everything will feel happy. You see the base crowd by
money. Let me like those stop when you go to
Me ale kulisna zemba.
Para ka ekemi de tumo de bi great and tomorrow. What go out to correct one. Any job Thank you.
Thank you so much.
It's about the kiss and the facial expression.
I think for me, that's why I was saying this earlier before the show start. Right? I don't have any issue with a woman dating an older guy, 10, 15 years plus. It doesn't really matter to me. But then again, it boils down to individual preference.
Yeah.
I don't like older men. For weird reasons, because I'm very particular about certain things that I find attractive. And I will not state those reasons here because I feel like that's discrimination in its purest form. But there are certain things that I'm not comfortable with when it comes to older people. You understand? For me, I think it doesn't. I cannot date someone that I'm older than either. If I'm older than you, first of all, dating somebody within your age bracket is already exhausting because a woman, you mature more than the man. Emotional maturity comes more before the man. So if you date somebody within your age bracket, you're already dealing with that. The exhaustion, just like I said, there's a boy in every man. So imagine me dating a younger guy that is emotionally.
So it's like there's a boy.
So it's like
there's an extra boy inside the boy.
There's an extra boy inside the boy. And if I'm in a relationship with somebody, I don't want to be your babysitter. I don't want to be your mom. I want to be with a partner that sees that has respect for me, and I have respect for you. That is on the same emotional maturity level as me as well. So there's that understanding. Of course, we're humans. We're flawed. We tend to go back and forth, tend to get argument at least, but we all get that conflict resolution that is on the same level. But when it comes to dating older men, I will not. I will not. I will not.
It's the double older.
Well,
what's older man?
No, like let me say, okay, you're in your 20s and you're dating a man that is like probably 60, 70. Like, I feel like that's my ancestor or something that I'm dating.
This your ancestor?
I should not have said that. I feel like I'm consulting with my ancestor, and there are certain aspects of it that I pay attention to that I mentioned earlier. And for me, I'm like, and it's weird. So that I think it was back early 2019 or 18. I actually went on a date with a really older man, and while it was like the conversation was really good, I will not go deny the conversation was really good. We were getting along, but there was a certain aspect that I couldn't get over. And I kept thinking about. I'm like, no, is this something I really want to forgo just because there are other aspects that are there? And I told my, nah, this thing makes me really uncomfortable. It even make my skin crawl. So I cannot compromise on that because I don't want because for me, I think about people. I think that's the empathic part of me. Like if I'm in his situation, there's no way I want him to lead me on, knowing that there's certain aspect of me that he's not comfortable with. So I put myself in a position. I'm like, you know what, let me be honest. And I told him that I really like you and all, but the age difference is way too much. I think it was 40 or 50 years or 40 years age difference between me and so I'm like, no, I cannot do this. And right now when I'm looking at you, I'm looking at you from the point of view of my dad or my brother. That's the point of view. I'm fine. It don't work. It doesn't like 20 multiple my age.
So now I understand when you say older.
Yeah, now you understand. Like older. But 10 years, that's really good because I feel like with the emotional maturity, they match. You're within the same level.
But probably you can try like 20 years.
Yeah, I can try 20, but not 20, not older.
Amira is pushing for the 20 years.
I'm not pushing. I'm just saying, just be open.
Yeah, no, I am open. I'm not saying I'm not open to that. I am open, but I'm talking about the older.
Yeah. It's the older for me in the conversation.
Listen,
like
Cameron, you need to define this older because we get confused now.
Okay, let me define the older. 10 years, it's okay. That's old. 15 years, it's old. But 20, that's old. 40, that's older. 40 years, that's older. That's ancestor level. I'm not doing that. I am not doing that. Let's be honest. I am not doing ancestor level.
I'm not gonna cry. No way.
But in the context of salon, okay, let's go back to the context of salon, especially in the villages, right?
Yeah.
It's accepted that the man should be older,
older
than the woman. So now, just I would say the modern conceptualization of modern relationship, they come on more from we don't experience Western life,
Right.
or don't mix with people then from Western life. They get some of these ideas, but really in the provincial areas,
Yeah.
it is expected that the man should be
Yeah.
way
Way
older
older.
Yeah.
than the woman, and it's not frowned upon there.
Yeah. No.
But for some reason, when you enter the modern society, like Amira was saying, or like you were saying, some people will look at you and are like, that's weird. Like,
Yeah.
stop hugging him.
Yeah.
Like, you know, not saying like papa.
Right.
Like the level
Yeah.
of age difference.
Yeah.
Right.
But if you go inside village, nobody cares. All man
No.
accept him.
Right.
So, like Amira, they say it all depends on the context.
Right.
And as well, it depends on the person's choice.
Yeah.
Let we learn for accept
Good.
people then choices.
Right.
If that person then a good person for you, why not? Will you
Yeah.
receive another call?
Good morning.
Hello, good morning.
Yeah. You name and aside the call.
Yeah, my name is No.
Okay.
Mina Benjamin. I call from Lungi.
Okay.
Yeah. Well, the topic very much, interesting. As for me, age, it really matter. Sometimes they were at the beginning. Most times, many people, able to consider that. But at the long run, but are they actually, because age, they tell you, time, it will tell or say, this decision, why don't maybe, because if the gap is too large, as when they go before, so obviously it begin to see the wider gap, of it, and the time they come, the sexual, passion of the old person, it will be reduced.
Right.
Most of in interest, it will be reduced. So it obviously important that the age gap not too large.
Okay.
And not be too large. Let it be at least around maybe 5 or 6 or 7 or 10 at least. At least especially for men. Men are like what say obviously, but the age gap, for men between women, it will be at least maybe 5 or 6.
Okay.
But most times, if the woman can't be passed, but the man, most times that relationship, it can get problem because as you when I say, women much more mature quicker, quick than men, especially in many things. When it comes to love, the way I know a mature woman. A woman of 18, it get for expressing love more than even but a man who on 25 years.
Right.
So women, I know they mature quick. So if the man can small, the woman can be past the man. Most time, not the conflict day. But if the man mature past the woman in age, if I advance, most times they can able for adjust about themselves. So. But then for be careful, obviously. Let us not just watch for now, but after 10 years, after 10 years, 20 years, it affect the relationship.
Okay.
That's number one contribution.
Thank you
so
so much for that contribution, Lee. I
Okay,
think
welcome.
we call and mention something where we don't talk about his age, but we feel for address, and I think he make a point of as well. So most people when they date people in men, right? Older men dating a younger woman, it has to do with the physical appearance.
Yeah.
That I think
The
we'll not discuss it, the
attractiveness, yeah.
attractiveness of a person, because most times you can say, "Oh, if they're in the same age, we're all together." But if young past me, that means either go and
Would they age together?
Yeah, no, in the age together. Like, why I go still get this young, attractive woman. Like, I think it's just some sort of like validating that even at my younger age, I can still get this strong and attractive person that wants me. That I think it can influence also by the physical appearance and seeking validation at that younger age. Probably classify under midlife crisis kind of thing. For most people, even women themselves, older women that are dating younger men, it's just some sort of self-validation.
Yeah.
Like, in as much as I'm 50, 40, but I can still get this young man in early 20s or late 20s to actually fall in love with me. Makes me feel good, makes me feel sexy all over again. So I think it fall other than there. Most time people want from get post where they say, okay, if me they lose me looks as with age, I'm getting old and wrinkled. I need to get like somebody that will validate my existence or my attractiveness, that even at this age, the way I look, I still get this kind of person that I can still attract this kind of person.
So in this salon context, I want to ask a question.
Right.
Between man and woman, who do you feel say they really go in for younger?
Amanda. it's a look. It's a validation. It's like, ooh,
she looks so good.
She looks so good. I can. And the thing waking actually can piss me off about these things. Men don't tend to in salon context, right? Majority of salon men that are in their 30s, comfortable, have a job. There's one thing we common among them: they get belly.
Oh yeah.
They don't even maintain them physical appearance. They don't even pay attention to it. Like they're just comfortable, just being
anyhow,
not looking even attractive.
But girl, we got some really nice guys in this country.
we do.
Like if you see them.
There was once I go warehouse and I'm just sitting there. And I sit by the bar and I'm just going through the guys that are working in. Like, let me just, like, it's like a personal survey that I did, right? And the person where we go with, actually, because he was Ghanaian. And he's like, I've traveled to so many countries, but one thing I said, I don't date salon. He said, but elect man, by the way. Not Gary, he's elect man. But she has traveled a lot. So it's like, so one thing is like, it's hard to find Sierra Leonean men that are very much attractive, that are still like very
Maintain
like
themselves,
fit.
yes.
So for a weird reason, we go warehouse. I'm like, no, I will prove you wrong.
But again, that all depends on individual
Visual preference.
What you consider as being attractive.
Good. So like I'm just talking about the fitness kind of thing. And most times when people don't get to a certain age, they're comfortable, then just focus on as long as I get money, I can attract anybody. They don't pay attention to their physical appearance, forgetting that physical appearance also matters. Okay. So majority of the guys that were walking through this door, they all get this small belly where they come with the small wealth that they already acquired, and they're just comfortable not paying attention. But somehow they tend to scrutinize women for the same thing.
Yeah, you're right.
As you get small, you need for this belly where you don't big so go trim and down a bit. But you look at them saying trim my belly, you back get belly just like me,
like 3 times mine.
Thank you.
Yeah.
So you see, and is these men that are actually going for younger women, because at this point their physical appearance doesn't even match up to their standard, but they just depend on their money, and then say, you know, it's I'll go for the younger. If the answer go ask me for enough for my money, that's why the control comes in. That's why they insist on being the sole provider in the family, because they feel like the only thing I can get for keep this person are the power of money that I have over them. You understand? So that's the only way I can maintain the relationship. That's the only way I can maintain the marriage.
But sometimes, again, I feel this society don't put a whole lot of pressure on men.
Oh, yeah, a lot.
Thinking that, like, you have to provide. That's a must. You just have to do it. That's exactly what's going to validate you as being a man.
Right.
You know? So because of that, they do extra.
Right.
And because they're not saying the sole provider or they're not the main providers, then they tend for... you know, misuse that on women. And that also, they make most women, they become so lazy to seek.
Right.
You know, like to work or to find ways to make money.
Right.
Because at the end of the day, you go like, I got some really nice booty.
Right.
You know, and because whenever he sees me shaking, he can just dash me like,
dash me money.
And there are a lot of women out there too that has the same beautiful one.
Yeah.
And he's going to chase them too.
Right.
And they're also working. They don't only have like this nice body, but there's something here too that they're utilizing. So that's things those are the things we need to also start discussing.
Yeah.
You know,
I think we actually make a mention of in we shows earlier, right? I think we talk about that the way emphasis is just placed on the man being the sole provider, and now they send a lot of negative message out there.
Yeah.
And for me, I feel like we need for that. That's a conversation we need to have. We need for change that
just
societal construct. It is not power per se. Now the man for provide for you.
Yeah.
We need for encourage young women and girls not to be so dependent on their look, because you're reducing yourself to just your body. At the end of the day, whether or not you like them, we mature with age and our body's not going to be the same.
Yeah, we're gonna have saggy boobs.
As much as
someday.
Good morning.
Yes, money.
Yeah, you name. Yeah, you name and side to come from.
Yes. So the one point back to come back again. When you compare with this village girl, they can see they're all with the above, except post with all.
Oh, you make one excellent point.
Yeah.
Call we back. Make sure you can call we on WhatsApp as well, so that we continue for your what you been careful say.
Yeah.
And we get some more comments on Facebook from Rashid Conte. He say I agree with abs, and with the abs we don't talk. Now that's honestly, if a lady is older than a man, it's a big deal because they're very controlling than a man. So Rashid agreed to that statement there. Then Joseph Kemo say Camera I catch you.
You want bull.
You want bull.
Okay, well I answer this. we dip and flip between Creole and English. Sometimes the Creole they come, sometimes the English they come. So in between that transition, the tongue tangles. We get to call Anaya. Good morning.
Good morning, ma.
Yeah. You don't mind if I reduce the volume of your radio, please?
Okay, sorry, please.
Oh, okay.
Are you getting me now, please?
Yeah.
Okay. Mr. Kamari,
Hello.
Oh, okay.
Okay, when I fix your radio, where they call we please make sure say the volume of the radio they dong, in fact off,
right?
Because it affects the calling signal, the transmission. You're not go able listen and talk at the same time.
Right.
But no say with it on Facebook, just type in Radio Fry Fry, and you can always rewatch Yusef or
and
listen.
voice.
Yes, listen back to your comments. No worry. And where they call in now more for other people, them not for Yusef, not for Fim. So make sure say you turn your volume down or completely off. And Rashid Conte on Facebook saying that's a huge age gap. I think 10 years is reasonable, but also maturity and experience. The caller we call in for tell with the age gap between the couple that we're in don't see.
Right.
And he say Rashid continue for say plays a great role than age gap. Then Joseph Kemo said today I dey watch una na Facebook for make I see Brigitte in face no more. And in voice fine like in face. Oh, thanks. And Eddie Grant says Camera is right. Women mature more quicker than men. And Joseph, just send me one longer text because now you just send me all the messages and you say, una all fine at the studio, bo Joseph from Wilberforce. Oh,
we get a caller. I think it's our female caller.
Okay.
So I feel like man.
Hello, good morning.
Yeah,
good morning.
Hi, this morning.
And our
like I want to just contribute small part of the topic, like where the type of say some women they not get choice because of they don't demand them. Okay, then demand them. They think I say now we didn't get money. So even they look not attractive, but we didn't get money. They're able to overrule woman.
Right.
But like you know some of them problems we do woman because I'm for research. Because like if you're not a woman and you empower yourself, I believe you get choice. You know what I mean? Because of that money they big because you get money, then you don't look for the big belly. You know say you know okay with them. But because of the money and you're not able to afford for yourself, you don't get for the time. But like when you believe so me have me myself now I go wish one day they pray all over the UK on a day when this program be on me Monday. Every day we argue. When this month I say with or without you I leave. And I don't believe say woman for the because you know, it is kind of difficult. I can feel. I don't know. I can feel from some of my countrymen. You want faith, you want blood, you want drugs, you want everything at that Monday. How you feel that Monday go take you? How you feel that Monday go treat you now? If that man they turn in 60 days, $7 when I 3 blood buy. It is very be careful of you.
Right.
If that man then I ain't gonna use for give money for go make it, then sometimes you can ask 100,000. Then if you go make it after we pass 100,000, it don't afraid you.
Right.
Your voice now the old self matter. But now the mama they do everything I overrule. You know get nothing. They make you can say at times so man they sometimes you not reach 30 years but way they in a toxic relationship, it don't 40 years, it don't 45. Because you don't want to do nothing for instead. You know this leg queen business on the money with too much material. This leg queen business over there after on the money with too much. And if you believe in a pass you get goggles and big bag, you get man but you not get boy. The same way you go out settle now, you not get someone where you settle with. You not use for responsible for you set. So at times we are the consolidated big belly man and the next time. So you better not go to that road to put up the money. We are not going but because of your money.
I thought I'm unfiltered. No, so I'm just gonna say shout out to you, girl.
Because of your money, I go just get you say this lad here, this time is sugar daddy. No, sugar daddy no matters. Because that sugar daddy they never block with another side. And that sugar daddy they know say sometimes you man are also not comfortable with her, but you don't can street. You now because you don't want to do nothing, you know, ability, you're comfortable with them because it's more money by you. So now we get the problem. The problem, then we get up for we say same thing that we did for we say. Okay, I love you. Bye bye.
I'm gonna leave the studio well fed.
Yeah.
Like, seriously.
So basically, Afise, I'm unfiltered. Bridget is very censored, and I feel like I'm unfiltered. Well,
this one.
Aldin, don't prove me wrong. Kudos, girl. Said it was good. Shout out to you. But at the end of the day, we are right now. We're not the cause of we own problem.
That's it.
And just be one thing before we go on a break. If you reduce yourself as a woman to just you looks, then there is nothing basically that man they want you for than you looks.
But
because that's what you care about.
Them a little bit. Let's look at society.
Right
now, what in society teach you?
And you home?
Yeah.
Okay, Josiah from Connor.
Hello?
Yeah, Josiah.
Josiah from Connor.
Right.
Yeah, I tell you, I think in the studio. Beautiful ladies. But you know what thing they make marriage sweet? Now the man for old past the woman.
Oh, okay. Why?
Yeah. Yes, because with the man that will get long standing physical fitness. You will see somebody at 30, marry somebody at 15. That woman of 50 after 30 years is not going to physically do anything again. So inside marriage, inside sweetness in the man and for old past the woman. If the woman old past the man, it will shame. In company will provoke her. So I tell you, I thank you.
Oh, okay.
If I want married now, I want woman who now 20 years. We don't make me 50 years. You will find and I'm in mercy.
Okay.
Okay. From a medical, but in point stand though, because a lot of people like just like I say earlier, some people go in for the looks as well because they feel like, oh, if I'm old, I need some sort of self-validation that at my age I can attract this kind of person. You know, even if me the old and wrinkle, when I turn back I look and be like this is the woman I attracted, so I'm good. But it's actually very, very much selfish reason. But we all go into relationship for different reasons.
We all are selfish.
We all are selfish. We are all selfish.
Yeah.
And I think this word don't escape me, but it's very important. And if you get a contribution from me, but I really need to make this one, but you don't like it.
Okay,
my thought has trailed off.
I'm going to read the messages. Then, so
right.
To get you
because this is very important.
Joseph, Kemo, the last comment we make it say, "Way woman find like una, even if not old man, they still yanam. Okay, even if not old man, it goes still yanam. That's what he's trying to say." Okay, Joseph from Wilberforce, and then Douglas Emmanuel Sam say because of the way women get more mature than men, it's but good for any relationship for the age gap to be between 10 years between a man and a woman if you want any relationship for work well. And then Mariama Kagbo say people frown at older women with younger men because they think it's wrong on all levels. They're quick to call them cougars, but I feel like relationship and age is a personal decision based on the individual's preference. It's about who you feel attracted to and the person that understands and can communicate with you better regardless of their age. People can be older or younger and still not be relationship matured. It's all about what a person wants and what works for them. George Clooney is 60, Amal is 44, Priyanka and Chopra is 39, and Nick is 29. It's all love. Women as well as men work hard and the comments keep dropping, and put your overall well-being as paramount as it can be, so that your choice can be genuine and not influenced by money or favors. And then Susan Newman say, I believe this age thing is just a number. Maturity and care is what matters. And Amadou Bailo tagged someone's comment about women being with younger men, and he said, lockdown, good morning ladies. That was the last comment that was sent. Again, like we keep saying, we define what a relationship is to us, but we can give pointers them as to waiting for look out for waiting to make a healthy relationship. Now, where it can to age gap inside the relationship, so man can want know how are they make this the work, because if other people then they frown at the relationship and then they say, oh, this and that go happen if you enter a relationship, and you get the other perspective, how you they able not to like defend but give you reasons as to why this relationship go work for you. We'll get a few pointers. One are that you forgive your partner space, so you're not always for the cling onto your partner, and it not even matter in an age relationship, in any relationship, don't be clingy. When you clingy pan the person, it almost become annoying, and you they almost like with something over sweet,
like someone stalking you.
Yeah, so you go on your own space or find happiness somewhere else, because not to like say you not know say the person like you, but
it can be overwhelming.
Yes, it's overwhelming, and you know say the other day will be the talk about balance.
Right.
You spend your time with your partner, you spend your time with your friends, with your family, with your work colleague. Everything has to be a balance.
Right.
You not go take too much of one thing because it's also not good for you.
Right.
So even if in any relationship, but today now the age gap we talk about now, forgive your partner space and not cling onto your partner. The other thing, now forget patience.
Yeah.
So dealing with odd situations require patience, and being calm and composed helps you win half the battle, and you can view the things in the right perspective. So when you deal with somebody, whether now younger or older, learn for be patient and also be flexible. Not be too rigid with your partner. You have to be flexible. You get to be empathic towards your partner, because it's important for you build a strong relationship with that person. And also have an open mind. Generally in life, where you to go through life, you to realize say with everything that life throws at you, if you not get an open mind, forget about relationship. If you not get an open mind, you they lose on so many opportunities and prospects and blessings that could have come your way.
Right.
So in life in general, although we topic today in our age, you forget an open mind, and you when they look at somebody else in your relationship, they point finger, they judge, they call them all sorts of names. You're not open minded.
No,
because it work for them. Not mean say they work for you fine, but not it not mean say you for impose your own comment, your own judgment on that particular relationship, because now who are you for make a judgment,
right?
Yeah, everybody's an individual. If me like green, you like blue, I focus you because you like green. No, it's the same in a relationship. It's the same about age. Waiting they work for you, waiting at your own preference. Now my own preference, and God make we all different. We all get different feelings. Them my own feeling not gonna be the same as you own. You not go expect for let it be the same. So make sure say you open-minded. Okay, you go see some pointers them in some relationship as to reasons why it may not work in the context of it not being a healthy relationship, but not because of the age difference within the relationship. And also, some people then we get the age gap within their relationship, then they enjoy silence. They say sometimes less is more, and so when you take a break and do absolutely nothing, it's good. I'll be explaining one example to Camry a couple of conversations a few weeks back about me own mama and papa and the age difference. Me own mama now, although in a bit the younger one, is very mature in thinking. So like when I can get conflicts within the relationship, it actually not the one where they keep quiet. They allow you talk, you rant, you make so, turn so, and now you business. Where you don't now, there you go talk. And my papa can always say, why you not respond? And he can say, but you vex right now. So they allow you for let you talk. We don't calm down, then are they able to talk to you.
And
then in learn
good.
down there as a good life lesson.
Yeah, that's very good.
And he say don't use her all this while, and it don't help him. From that day where me mama talk him, instead of realize it's true.
Yeah.
Even though you get conflicts with somebody, you don't need for like exasperate yourself. Say you understand. You get to a certain point where you're not even able to deal with the situation, and so you for remove yourself from the situation and just calm down. And sometimes when it gets vexed too much, it affects your health, and then you realize, say, why for affects me health over just a disagreement. So they get a call from a caller. Let me receive this
Jacob,
one.
from Hill Station. Good morning, Joseph.
Jacob.
Yeah, Jacob. Oh, yeah, Jacob. Sorry. How do you used to Joseph? Good morning. How you
don't make it for you.
I get mind. I don't get mind.
All right. So the topic that is discussed today is a fine topic, of course, age. But age is all about number, but maturity is the one that matters.
Right.
Right? Some people can be 16 years, 17, but when it comes to their love life, they are very matured compared to the one that is 20, 25 or so. I celebrated my 24th anniversary last December, and that was a girl who, of course, pictured me in go search in photo din and phone, a 10-year-old girl. So it be look at your thing phone and I go see meeting. Then you get for asking and say, you know this person. You say, well, this now person we all can be together and we are happy. And she expressed interest over 20 for me. And she has been coming all around me, but she's 10 years and I'm 24. So it means it's 14 years different. But I am a little bit hesitant as a result of accepting her because at her age limit. But however, I have been very supportive over her in terms of her school and all not. And now we go religiously. Yeah, and we all know the Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, he was 25 years, while Madam Khadija was 40 years. That is 15 years different. So, but Madam Khadija subjected to Prophet Muhammad, of course, and they both got married and they bear children.
Okay.
So it's not a kind about age, but it has to do with maturity and mutual understanding with each other. Okay? So, Sandy, for let's say, maybe, although you get some ladies, when they realize the man big person, then they're not going for the man in utmost respect. Some, not all though, but there are some.
Okay.
But you have some who are very committed again, in spite of their age,
Okay.
to the man. So the age is all about number, but maturity counts it all, and it is maturity that can push relationship forward. Let's say if they are two self in an age group, but if they are two not mature, when it comes to relationship, then they always get conflict and they bash at each other, and the relationship not go last. But if they both are matured, even if one person matured, that could salvage the situation of the relationship. Okay, so age is not all about it's not all about age. Relationship is not all about age. It's all about maturity, nine matters, and mutual understanding. Thank you.
Thank you very much for joining us in the studio.
I needed some lip balm.
I'm very conflicted about this last caller.
Me too.
Well, it's mixed opinion, you know. Everybody has their own opinion, but one of the things that we'll try to teach everybody now that you not for be judgmental. Waiting they work for you, not necessarily get for work for somebody else.
Right.
Like we say, to be honest, age is not really much of a reason why you should not love somebody.
Right.
Just like you go like something in the modern age versus somebody versus something in the past. You understand? We get different preferences in life. I want to continue with some of the things that we think about for help you if
Enjoy
you
the age gap.
Yes, for let you enjoy the age gap in your relationship. The second to last thing, communication. For most problems to be solved, you need proper communication, and your partner now somebody where you can share anything with, and everything under the sun, and therefore you need an honest communication with your partner. And then the last is love unconditionally. You get to love your partner without any boundaries or limitations, and even the worst situation can even be easily handled when the partners are loving, kind, and affectionate. He mentioned an example from the Quran, but even in the context of the Bible as well, you get different sets of relationship that went on. If you want to start from the New Testament, just Joseph and Mary, you when you read their story, you can tell that there's a huge age gap.
Yeah.
And Mary was somebody who was very, very young, but she was she was in a relationship with Joseph, who was much older than her.
Right.
So again, that's why we keep emphasizing that it's the person's preference. You're not going to tell Mary, saying, no, you're not for date Joseph because when I was not to the same age.
Right.
For make clarification, the time where we can get issues with age gap within a relationship, Cameron Bidon points that one out earlier. When it comes to children,
right,
and an older person, that is completely wrong. This conversation that we're having is based on a mature relationship between mature adults. We know they condone, we know they accept, and we know they talk about the age difference between children and an adult, because you also get the cultural context within Sierra Leone where big man, they watch small pikin as young as 12, 13, whatever you want to call it, and then they married them.
Right.
That one day, like waiting Cameron don't say, it fall under pedophile.
Right.
Because you not for do that. Number one, the pikin not grow enough for know what he actually wants. The age of maturity not come inside, even though yes, we they say maturity in all dependence on age, but in that context, in a global level, anybody where they under the age of 18 is considered a child. So if big man weigh 40, they look pam small picking and marry them, then they completely wrong. The context in which the conversation will they get now the mature one, the way you don't pass 18, you get the rights for make your own decision for select who that you want to be with. That one day it up to you. I don't think say anybody get anybody for talk against that, because waiting you the experience in the relationship, sometimes they're not even the experience half.
Right.
And you want cut that person enjoy because of waiting you think.
Right.
And the context of the 21st century, where they look at religion, where they look at with culture, with traditions, and also moving forward some of the mistakes that we don't make
in the past.
In the past. And there's nowhere in the Bible or in the Quran that frowns upon age difference in a relationship. All it ever talks about is love.
Right.
And with love, you have faithfulness. You have trust, you have commitment. Those are some of the things that are important inside a healthy relationship. So if you dare inside a relationship, we not get some of them values and then no say no to a relationship you there inside.
Right.
If you there in a relationship where you're not able freely communicate, whether age difference there or not, then they're not to correct relationship, because you're not going to suppress me because me not woman or because me not man and not for talk on certain things. No. When you there in a relationship, like waiting Amira say, you for be willing, you should be able to freely express yourself. If you man do something or you woman do something and you think it incorrect, not bring age kind side but big for you.
Right.
You destroy the relationship.
Right.
So we get for really sit down and think waiting good for me. Let for look out. Let for look at other people, then they point finger, they judge. Una left. All man in your context is different. Sometimes waiting you don't experience, fine, now you own experience.
Right.
But sometimes somebody else they experience something good out of it.
Right.
So now we not for judge. Unfortunately, we're not able to entertain any more calls because we don't reach the end of the conversation. We only get 4 minutes left in the studio. If you just join we, this now Radio Fry Fry on 97.1 FM. And today in your topic, we don't talk about whether age gap really matter in a relationship. And some of the pointers then where we give now that some of the factors that we can influence we subconscious and conscious decision about choosing a partner who is in a different age range from us. Now, cultural aspect, we don't talk about that. We spoke about the family background. We spoke about family planning. We spoke about maturity and in the interesting views where you can get between on ourselves, the financial stability, and then the health balance. And then some possible drawbacks as well, where we don't talk about in age gap relationships. One, now that sometimes it may turn sour. Sometimes it may lead to divorce. Sometimes it may cause marital instability. Sometimes it can cause social disapproval when are the main reason why some man not can engage and in such relationships because of the judgment that they'll receive.
But I think that would emphasize them over and over and over and over again. Do what works for you. I think people need for left for put so much. I think social construct is ours contributing into that construct that's already in place. When you say, oh, because of this, at the end of the day, people are always going to have something to say. These are something where I take from me, my mama. He say the thing about Mosaman, then they always get something for say. You know, ever able please Mosaman. You don't understand? If you ask person, say, oh, what you going for make I do for please you? Go tell you, say, probably go tell you, say, kill yourself. Cut yourself into it. Go give you knife. And you go take the knife, you cut you to go see you die one. That same person can able look you back and say, this is not cut into go to. So you say at the end of the day, no matter what you do, you cannot please people. So if you say they live for please people, just know that you live an unhappy life. I know that the waiting for matter to everybody. Is this making me happy? If I'm 25, I'm dating a guy that is 70 years old. Is he making me happy? Am I safe? Let's just like I say, am I safe with this person? Can I be myself? Can I count on this person? And another quote as well where I read was it yesterday? They say you're not going to marry the Jeep, you're not going to marry the hair, you're not going to marry the house, you're not going to marry all these things. What you're going to marry is the person. When you're going through something at 3-4 a.m. in the morning, can you wake up this person and that person is there for you and is understanding? If the answer to that question is no, then don't be in a relationship with somebody like that.
Indeed. We have a few messages we'll get for read for make sure we'll get them all within the show. We get a message from Flyboy Cherno. He says, wow. And Mohammed Duralu says, the way I am seeing you now, feel like meeting you instantly from Hamza Kono. I don't know Uswampa we talk about.
We're going to go on a nationwide tour. I'm not worried.
And Douglas Emmanuel Sam.
Me up.
Douglas Emmanuel Sam say age gap is very much paramount in any relationship if you want that relationship to work well, because that's why today we have so many single mothers taking care of the children. All depends on the age difference between the two people. I want to also check Messenger, but Camera is going to be checking her text messages. We'll see if any
I just want to get Naya. So we say good morning, Radio Fry. Interesting topic, very educative, especially for we the young guys them growing up. Everyone deserves respect, and respect is reciprocal. From Mara at Wilberforce. May I check WhatsApp if we get any messages? Sorry, we're not able to pick any more calls as we see the calls in the coming. But don't worry, tomorrow I got another interesting topic back. So your contribution is still important and valid. No, we not get any WhatsApp messages.
Okay.
You get Messenger messages?
No messages.
Okay.
And tomorrow's topic, if you are interested, is soulmate. Predestined or choice?
I feel like if you don't make I do like a drum roll because this is another interesting topic, but the context of soulmate.
Is it predestined or is it a choice? Join we every day, Monday to Saturday, 9 a.m. till 11 a.m. This has been the Breakfast Mix with us, Brigitte Dalton Sisay
and Sarah Kamara,
and our special guest
Amira Catherine Koroma. Guys, don't forget to check out my YouTube channel. It's Unscripted Kamake. Please subscribe to my channel and then show me some big love.
Indeed. We'll put the link for her YouTube channel under this live stream that will be on Facebook. So if you want to check her out, like she said, she's an activist and she has a lot to say. To promote balance within women. It has been a great show, and we like on our engagement, we like the calls that we come inside, and we hope so when I go join we tomorrow. For today, when I get a blessed day and ta-ta.
Bye-bye.
We're signing out.
Peace out.
Yeah, Mix Plus. Now there's free data in the mix for you, plus voice and SMS. Get free 45 megabytes, 150 SMS, and 3 minutes talk time daily for 1,990 leons. 110 megabytes, 250 SMS, and 5 minutes talk time daily for 2,990 leons only. Dial *99 hash to choose from your preferred episode Ya Mix Plus bundle. Ya Mix Plus. We mix it. You use it. Terms and conditions apply. To know more, call 111.
AfriCell, Norway Network.
Well, when I first met Bruno, it was 20 years ago. I saw that Bala and Bruno had a really good relationship, and it was very clear that there was a rapport, and it was very clear to me that, for better or worse, Bala had some kind of responsibility towards this chimpanzee, who he had brought into his home. I think Bruno's story is important because it helps people to understand the problems out there. King Bruno is perfect way of educating young people. All over the world, really, animal species are disappearing. Bruno isn't the only one, and the people need a lot of education out there so that there'll be less Brunos in the future.
And they say love is kind. Well, if all that not the truth, I come you so unkind, I come you to mess with me mind. Baby. I know they eat, I know they sleep. Damn girl, this shit is deep. Every day I love you more, shorty I love you to the core. Now you done got me on the leash, capiche. I know one day feel like this. Damn shorty, every minute I want for taste your kiss. You're not the only one for me, on the for real, you're killing me. You're so impossible to resist. You know me sick, you know me kill. For your sake I go and deal. You know the joy I can't ignore, my every bloodline and more. Girl, my intentions are pure. Girl, I'm in love with you. Ain't nobody else for me but you. You're so kissable, collectible, irresistible. You're so huggable, lovable, incredible, ooh, touchable, squeezable, pleasable. You're so capable, respectable, unbelievable. Baby, I'm drunk in love with you, so intoxicated. 24/7, 365, I'm dedicated. You're my poison, you're the sweet poison. You're my poison, sweet poison. You're my poison, you're the sweet poison. You're my poison,